Welcoming the Tigers back to the brightest stage in college basketball, the Vanderbilt Commodores host Auburn for an SEC showdown at Memorial Gymnasium. Although the Commodores own the edge in the all-time series, Auburn is holding down 7 of the 8 last meetings. A win for the Tigers would mean a rebound for Bruce Pearl and team as they come off of their second loss of the season. But a win for the Commodores would mark their 5th top 10 takedown this season. Coming off of a road loss to Kentucky, the Tigers are back in Neville Arena, and this time with a new teammate. Yuting Dang, the 6-foot guard all the way from China, makes her Auburn debut as the Tigers face the number 7 Texas Longhorns for their first SEC meeting. Taking a break from their road game streak, Auburn is back in Neville Arena to host the Vanderbilt Commodores for their second-to-last home game of this season. Both teams are looking to get back into that win column as Auburn dropped 2 road losses last week and Vanderbilt finds themselves on a 3-game losing streak. Auburn's comeback win over the Trojans came with a slow start to the offense. Amelia Letch at the first base spot became a key player for creating outs for this Auburn defense. Troy got out early with a home run from Caden Dunn, batting in another one to make the score 0-2. Back at Jane B. Moore Field to continue their fall ball exhibition games, Auburn softball faces Northwest Florida. This season, Auburn showcases some new faces, including 8 newcomers to the Plains this year, and co-head coaches Chris and Kate Malveaux, who have previously made their mark at Tennessee through being tied for the 10th most wins nationally and 2nd most by an SEC team over their past 3 seasons. For Auburn, the road to Omaha begins here at the Hoover Met for the SEC tournament. Entering the postseason and the tournament as the 6th seed, Auburn faces Texas A&M in the second round for their first game. The Deep South's oldest rivalry makes its way to Neville Arena for military appreciation for Auburn gymnastics. The number 7 Georgia Bulldogs are coming off of a home win and will pose a tough competition for the Tigers. The Tigers, who just traveled to Kentucky, were handed with a loss and an injury. 5th-year senior Olivia Hollingsworth ruptured her Achilles and is out for the rest of the season. Jeff Graba and team will have to rely on the depth of their freshman and sophomore athletes, plus the roar of the jungle to make the upset happen tonight. Coming off of 2 run rule games against Wright State, Auburn's Christian Chatterton leads the Tigers on the mound. Auburn sees a full 9-inning game as they continue their dominance and homestand here at Plainsman Park. The Tigers take the series 4-9 with a clean sweep over Wright State. For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Maddie Baughn. Auburn baseball continues their busy home stretch with a midweek matchup against North Alabama. The Tigers and the Lions are both featuring freshmen on the mound who are making their collegiate debuts, as Andreas Alvarez leads the Tigers. Auburn Tigers opened up SEC conference play at home against the Vanderbilt Commodores. Going into this game, the Tigers were ranked 6th in the nation and were still yet to concede a goal despite having played 8 games already. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt only conceded 1 goal on the season against St. Mary's, and the Commodores hoped they could leave Auburn with 3 points and a win. Auburn football returns with its most anticipated spring event, as the program welcomes the Auburn family back into Jordan-Hare. However, A-Day is taking a different approach this year, as Coach Hugh Freeze is following suit of many college football programs who are now hosting open practices instead of the typical scrimmage game. Today, Coach Hugh Freeze is showcasing 2 of his newest arms for the Tigers, Jackson Arnold and Deuce Knight. Yes, you stated that you idolized her growing up. How has she influenced your coaching career?
You know, one thing I got from Pat was, you have to love these girls, but love is also truth.
Right. You have called Pat Summitt the standard of women's basketball. How has she influenced you in your coaching career as you continue to uphold her standard of excellence?
Coach Summitt, she has been exemplary for all of us coaches who want to impact lives like she has. She has been the standard. She is, or was, everything that was right with women's basketball. Like her leadership, and she's always was one that was for the greater good of women's basketball. Not Tennessee, like the greater good of our sport.
Coach, Pat Summitt inspired countless players and coaches. How has her legacy influenced your own journey, especially in women's basketball?
Well, when you hear some of the stories of Pat Summitt and just the discipline that she has for her teams and holding them accountable, you're like, well, that's going to win you 8.
Purple. And then you realize, okay, well, we have more that we have to do. We have more that we can do in this world. And again, that's hats off to her because she is continuing to change lives.
Is there a moment in your career as the Tennessee women's basketball coach where you have just felt Pat's influence the most?
I think the very early days, maybe the first month and a half, you could feel that. You could feel every room you walked into, not every room, but multiple rooms, multiple times, I would walk in someplace and people would pray for me or stop and pray for me or tell me that they were praying for me. And you would just have these moments where you could really feel something heavenly taking over.
Can you describe your family's relationship with Pat Summitt?
Yeah, it was one that, was really strong. We had such respect for Pat. We still look at Pat as the greatest coach in the history of college basketball.
Coach, can you describe how you're going to continue her legacy throughout your program?
Yeah, just continue to honor and respect the game. The way she treated her players, she loved them as hard as she coached them, and I think that's something that we've really stood by. So it's something that I'm going to continue to do.
All of these Auburn alumni I'm about to talk about all started off as freshmen, just like Blake and Caleb, and now they are taking over the professional league. Starting strong with the women, Maddie Baughn has broken yet another record, not once, but twice this past year. The currently undefeated women's basketball added another win to their record last Thursday with an 82-48 victory over Little Rock for their military appreciation game. An already great night for women's basketball got even better. On Thursday, women's basketball reached a huge milestone, marking 1,000 program wins since becoming a program on the Plains in 1971. This program becomes the 32nd NCAA Division I program and 6th SEC member to earn 1,000 wins. After the game, head coach Johnny Harris stated, "That's what we do. We take pride in that." Last week, the women's swim and dive team took a trip to Washington for the NCAA championship, where 11 of our women Tigers competed in the pool on the 19th through the 22nd. The team came in 35th, but clinched 5 honorable mention All-American titles. The 200 free relay team took 14th place with a time of 1:27.63. The relay team of Lexi Mulvihill, Lisa Klavanovich, Polina Nevmovinko, and Laura Komarochi all received honorable All-American. On the platform, Emily Halifax finished in 13th with a score of 293.70 for an honorable All-American as well.